discuss second lecture of stereochemistry. In today's lecture, we will discuss about optical activity and importance of chirality. So start with discovery of optical activity. Right? Optical activity was discovered by French chemist Louis Pasteur in 1848. Right? He studied that when a concentrated sodium ammonium tartrate solution was allowed to crystallize, there are two types of crystals were separated out. Right? Each type of crystals, when dissolved in water, they rotated the plane of polarized light. Right? He studied that two types of crystals of sodium ammonium tartrate solution were separated out, and these crystals, when dissolved in water, they showed the rotation of plane polarized light. Right? This observation led to the discovery of optical activity. Next, what is optical activity? Substances which can rotate plane polarized light through a certain angle are called optically active substance. Right? And this property of a substance, by virtue of which the organic substances rotate the plane polarized light, is called as optical activity. Right? Optically active substance can rotate the plane polarized light. Right? And the property of rotation of plane polarized light of optically active substance is known as optical activity. Right? Optically active substance, that is enantiomers, right, are identical in all their physical properties, but one exception is their effect on plane polarized light. Right? Two enantiomers of a compound rotate the plane polarized light in same extent but in opposite direction. Right? Now, before discussing about measurement of optical activity, we should understand about the plane polarized light. What is plane polarized light? Right? So first, ordinary light, that is the white light, visible light. Right? What is visible light? It ordinary light consists of electromagnetic radiation, right, of different wavelength, and radiation vibrates in all planes. Right? Ordinary light consists of electromagnetic radiation which have different wavelength, and the radiation of the light vibrates in all planes. That is known as the ordinary light. And this ordinary light can be converted into monochromatic light by using monochromator. Right? Now, what is monochromatic light? Monochromatic light consists of a particular one wavelength, beam of particular one wavelength, and again radiation of the monochromatic light vibrates in all planes. Right? But this type of light have the beam of same wavelength. Right? Next, monochromatic light can be converted into plane polarized light by using the polarizer or polarizing filter. Right? And plane polarized light is defined as a beam of light having vibrations only in one plane. Right? Radiation of plane polarized light vibrates only in one plane. Right? See image, unpolarized light can be converted into plane polarized light by using polarizer, right, or polarizing filter. See, in polarized light, vibrations of radiation in all planes, in all directions, right? While plane polarized light have vibration in one direction. Next, measurement of optical activity, right? For the measurement of optical activity, instrument used is polarimeter. Right? Polarimeter is used to measure the optical activity of chiral molecule or chiral compounds. Right? So, see the construction of polarimeter, right? So let's discuss about the construction and function of polarimeter. It has the sodium lamp as a light source, right? Then monochromator filter to convert the light into ordinary light into monochromatic light, right? Then there is a polarizer or polarizing filter to convert monochromatic light into the plain polarized light, right? Then sample cell, or you can say polarimeter tube or sample tube, which contain the optically active substance to be analyzed, and then analyzing filter and detector, right, which show the angle of rotation by optically active compound of the light, plain polarized light, right? So when optically active substance in solution form filled into the sample cell, right, that is polarimeter tube, and light beam of plain polarized light is passed through this cell or polarimeter tube, then substance, optically active substance will rotate the plain polarized light, right, either left side or right side, right. So on the property of rotation of plain polarized light in right side or left side, enantiomers can be denoted as dextrorotatory or levorotatory. Now what is dextrorotatory? The compounds which can rotate the plain polarized light towards the right side or clockwise direction is known as dextrorotatory, and it can be denoted as plus sign or as a small d by prefix, right? For the compound denoted as D compound or plus compound, right? It is the dextrorotatory compound is denoted, right? Then levorotatory. The compounds which can rotate the plain polarized light towards left side or anti-clockwise direction is known as levorotatory compound, and it is denoted as minus sign or by small l by prefix, right? Then angle of rotation. The angle through which the plain polarized light is rotated by an optically active substance is known as angle of rotation, right? It is denoted by alpha sign, and angle of rotation depends upon different property of different parameters. For example, the identity of sample and solvent, that is nature of sample and nature of solvent. The wavelength of light used, the concentration of sample which is filled in sample tube or polarimeter tube, the length of sample tube, right, that is polarimeter tube, and temperature of the solution or experimental condition, right. Next, specific rotation. It is defined as the observed angle of optical rotation alpha when plain polarized light is passed through a sample with a path length of 1 decimeter, that is 10 centimeter, and concentration of 1 gram per ml. Right? That means when 1 gram per ml solution of a compound is placed into the sample tube, which have the 10 centimeter length, right, and then observe angle of rotation being specific with the specific rotation, right. That is, D line of sodium spectrum is used at 25 degrees Celsius temperature, right. The rotation also depends upon the temperature and wavelength of light used, right. That's why to minimize this variation, D line of sodium spectrum is used at 25 degrees Celsius. That means nature of light and temperature be the fixed, right? So that's about the temperature and wavelength of light not affect the specific rotation. It is fixed, right? That's why it is written as alpha 25D. 25 denoted temperature, that is 25 degree, and D indicate the use of D line of sodium spectrum. Right? See the equation for the calculation or measurement of specific rotation, right? Alpha in large bracket alpha D25, right? That is the specific rotation. 25 is temperature and D is D line of sodium lamp is used, right? Equal to alpha divided by C into L, where alpha is observed rotation, that is angle of rotation observed through polarimeter, right? C is concentration of sample solution in gram per ml, right? Remember the unit gram per ml unit is used for the calculation, right? Then length of cell in decimeter, right? Here again length is used in decimeter unit, right? 1 decimeter equal to 10 centimeter. Then importance of chirality. This is all about the optical activity, optical rotation, specific rotation. Right now, importance of chirality. It is the biomolecule chirality or chirality in biomolecules. Right? Biomolecules in the living cells like proteins are chiral molecules and they are the polymers of chiral amino acids. Right? And second example is receptors. Again, receptors are made up of these type of proteins, right? And its binding site of receptor act as a chiral molecule or chiral center, right? To show the chirality, right? So when chiral drugs attach to the chiral receptor or receptor binding site, there should be 3-point attachment, right? If effectively 3-point attachment not occur, then biological response will not be produced by the drug molecule, right? So for the chiral drugs to give their biological or physiological action in the body, they must combine effectively with the receptors by more than 3 points of attachment, right? The effective fitting of chiral drug with the chiral receptor will indicate that one enantiomer can easily combine with the receptor while other enantiomer cannot, right? Amongst two enantiomer, one enantiomer will be biologically active and other is less active or inactive in many cases, right? So it shows the importance of chirality in biological system, right? Our biomolecules are also in chiral in nature, and that's why according to their nature, drug molecules which is given from outside should be in chiral in nature according to the biomolecules, right? Then and then biological activity will be produced, right? For example, epinephrine. See, epinephrine have two enantiomer, dextro and levo, right? Dextro, the first structure is dextroepinephrine, right? There are 2 points of attachment. One is anionic site and second one is flat area. Third site is not occupied, right? Because of wherein levoepinephrine there is 3 points of attachment. Anionic site occupied with hydrogen bonding with hydroxyl group, and third one is flat area, that is the benzene ring or aromatic ring, right? Aromatic ring will attach to the flat area. Then OH group make the hydrogen bond with receptor electronegative atom, and third one is anionic site. Quaternary ammonium nitrogen, that is positively charged cationic nitrogen, make the ionic bond with negatively charged moiety or group of receptor. Right, so there are 3-point attachment of epinephrine with its receptor to produce the biological response, right? But it effectively seen in with the levoepinephrine, right? Levoepinephrine make 3-point attachment with its receptor and produces the biological action, right? In dextroepinephrine, dextroisomer, there is a change in arrangement of OH group, hydroxyl group. This hydroxyl group make the hydrogen bond with receptor, right? And its arrangement is changed in dextro one. That's why there is no formation of hydrogen bond with receptor. So that only 2 points of attachment will occur with epinephrine and receptor. It's a receptor, right? So that's why it is less active or almost inactive, right? So two enantiomer epinephrine dextro and levo, out of them only levoepinephrine is highly active, right? So it shows the importance of chirality in biological system and as well as medicinal compound and its effect in our body. Thank you.